Thank you, Shane, and thanks again for everybody being here. Chris hosting the event. We are Livingston Haven is a 62-year-old industrial distributor, and I say that a little tongue-in-cheek because we don't really think of ourselves as a distributor anymore, but we don't have a name for ourselves. We integrate a lot of products. We're a distributor and integrator. When we put those two words together, we came up with disintegrator. That's probably not what we want to be known for, so we're still struggling with what we are. And maybe know better what we aren't at this point. We're not a disintegrator, not normally. So we do sell, distribute a lot of products made by other people. Motion control products, fluid power, hydraulics, pneumatics, electronic controls, data acquisition, things of the sort. But our business has really morphed into, instead of just selling lots of parts in a box to perhaps even customers like yourself, we now do a lot of integration work. And so, like you've seen in most industries, the automotive industry is a good example, right? They don't manufacture most of the components that go on those automobiles. They buy them from perhaps people like yourself, and they assemble them into a product. So we had a little bit of a challenge when we looked at Lean and we looked at our business in general, in that we serve many different customers, about 6,000 different customers, about 150 different industries. We represent about 3 million different parts. And then we integrate all those things together into how many permutations I can't count. And so the problem for us scientifically is that there's so much data, there's so many different industries, so much different demand on our time. You can go crazy trying to figure out, where's the sweet spot of your business? Where should you be focused? And so we started down the Lean path about 3 years ago now, trying to make some sense out of all of this. And it actually started with one of our vendors, the Bosch Rexroth Corporation, who has a large facility in Greenville. And I was in their plant, and they were giving us a tour of what they were doing. And we started talking about Lean, and they were talking about how they were cutting costs out of the plant. And some of this stuff really resonated with me. It really seemed sharp. So I borrowed their consultant for a half a day, and I brought him up, and he taught me enough to be really dangerous about Lean in a half a day. And I said, you know what? He said one thing to me that sticks with me to this day. He says, Lean teaches us that the leadership of the company doesn't have to have all the answers. I said, say that again. I'm going to write that down. I was struggling, maybe as many of you have, whether you're the leader of the company or a leader of a division or department, in that you got to have all the answers, and there's so many things going on in your department, it's hard to know, be an expert in all of it. And there's so many random mistakes that go on that don't necessarily have any trend to them, where you can say, oh, here's the root cause analysis. It was just an anomaly. So I realized that we had to push down the responsibility of quality, of sustainable process to our people. It had to start with me, but it couldn't end with me. That's kind of the wave of position we were in. So I, like several of the leaders of our company, were in constant firefighting mode to put out little fires that were starting internally or externally in our business, and it was very inefficient. And so the last few years, we knew we wanted to apply Lean to our manufacturing process because we manufacture a product like you guys do in many cases, but we also distribute product, and that process was also broken. Inner office activities were broken, so you'll see a lot of what Shane will talk about here in the next little bit about what we're doing to bring accountability, daily accountability, back to our business, not by department necessarily, but as a company. So the other problem we had as a company, we were very departmentalized. We had an isolationist type of theory and culture, and this is my job, not your job. Why are you over here talking to me about it, and vice versa. It turns out, though, my accounting's problems with trying to collect money from customers weren't simply their problems. You know what? My accounting department doesn't sell anything. So unless there was a problem with the invoice or something, that problem collecting money probably wasn't really their issue. It was we didn't provide documentation for manufacturing, we didn't have proof of delivery, we shipped the wrong product, and it was 100 reasons why the customer wasn't going to close out that invoice, as an example. So bringing in the other departments that were creating some of those problems and letting them understand, hey, if you don't get your documentation done on that unit on time, I have problems doing my job. Well, they never really thought perhaps beyond their own day-to-day work and what was all on top of them for the week or the day. And so this collaboration didn't occur in our organization. And as a result, at the end of the day, you had all this stuff. They were put together like Christmas is coming up. I got 3 young boys. you put together Christmas toys and you got some of these parts left over, you're not sure how to feel about that. You know? Every day we had some parts left over, and we were saying, I'm not sure these shouldn't have gone somewhere. Something should have been done with some of this stuff, you know. And parts represents anything from an accounting issue, a lost product, a bad weld. It could have been anything that we were engaged in that was creating trauma for ourselves, but more importantly for our customers. So the Lean Alliance has been great for us. Just a small commercial. We were in our infant stages when we joined this group, and we had a lot more to learn than we had to share. But we've taken many things we learned from many of you. I was at Metrolina. You notice there's a picture of this room up there. That comes as a result of our visit to Metrolina. Because they said, you know what, there's a way that these areas should look when you leave every day. They should be clean. And if we leave that up to the individuals, there's a little different preference between Shane, perhaps, and myself on what does clean look like. Well, we still don't have anything that titles what the picture is, I recognized before I made the comment. But even still, we're taking baby steps towards those kinds of things. You'll notice our daily boards here. Each one of our departments has a daily 15-minute stand-up meeting, and they are joined by people from other departments, and they join other departments. And so we look at critical parts of our business on a daily basis, and we try to make sure that box is not sitting in the warehouse longer than it should, that the money hasn't been collected, is being collected. But there's lots of issues in the distribution business and manufacturing business, just like you guys have. But this alliance has also brought us closer to some of the people we work with, but mainly what it's done is given us input in a variety of ways. It may not be the same as our business, but it applies. And that really has expedited our process to becoming a better company. You know, a long ways to go, but we've also come a long way. So I close by saying I'm very proud of our group and the efforts that we've made. I'm proud of this group. I think, you know, it's our mission, if you look on our website, is to preserve U.S. manufacturing, interestingly enough. What we do is we sell automation, we sell efficiency. That's what we do for a living. And my father and myself have challenged our company to go out and help our customers, primarily they're people like yourself in the manufacturing sector of the country, to be more efficient. Because if you're not in business, we're not in business. And it's important to us to provide sustainable technology to our customers so that they're around today, tomorrow, for the future. So once again, let me say thanks for everybody being here. Hopefully the next hour or so will be informative. We look forward to your feedback as much as we look forward to giving you some feedback on what we've done. And please be open and honest with us. That's the way we improve. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Marshall.